Hey y'all, hi. So today I'm sharing a few versatile and joyful ways to consider dressing for spring. And this is based on what I'm seeing around, like on people, on runways, what I've been drawn to, what I have found myself unaccountably drawn to as the seasons changed this year, and also just a bunch of great images that I've saved. These are fairly flexible ideas, so the hope is that you can play with your own clothes in these ways as you start to think about spring style. And the key pieces are probably things that you can find at a thrift shop if you don't have them already. If you're new, welcome. I'm Hannah. I am a poet by vocation. I'll put the link to my book in the description box down below. And for my day job, I make videos on YouTube about beauty and fashion. Let's get right into the meat of the video. And for my night job, I write poems. Okay, so my first suggestion for spring dressing is to bring a touch of evening wear to daytime dressing. So evening fabrics, velvet, sequins, sheers, maybe in some case silk. Now, I know I've talked about this before. This isn't like the first time on my channel that I have suggested sequins for day and its siblings, but I had to mention it because first of all, it's great. Second of all, it's something that I think is stunning, but that I kind of struggle to execute, which we'll talk about in a minute. But thirdly, I'm suddenly seeing this everywhere. Like there are always a couple cool people doing this, but when I started looking at like 2026 fashion predictions and runways and fashion weeks and street style images of fashion people, everybody is wearing lace and sequins, and especially lace and sheer fabrics and lace with their casual clothes. And we're seeing some creative and also recurring specific ways to do this. So the one that I think that I saw the most and I saved the most images of is a completely sheer slip skirt, or just like overlay, that's not even a full skirt, on top of pants. I saved several images of people wearing what looks like a vintage slip, essentially, on top of pants with an otherwise balanced but not necessarily noteworthy outfit. In some cases, it's a full slip, like a sheer slip dress or a lace slip dress that's layered over and then something layered on top of that. So it's really the skirt part that's on show. Apparently, some people who know about trends were wearing, at least for some amount of time and may still be wearing, this little kind of what looks like a half apron, like an asymmetrical half apron made out of a doily tied around the waist on top of pants. I mean, there's one image, it's just like an oversized t-shirt, straight white cotton pants, and black sandals, and then this red doily situation. So it's a whole thing. It's gone further than ever before. All those times before when I was saying, hey, if you have like a sequin top or a chiffon ruffled shirt that you usually wear to dinner, try wearing it during the day. All the times I've said that, well, they all listened to me and then they took it quite far, and it's a whole thing right now. So I'm seeing all of this, those doily skirt things, sheer lace, what looks like vintage sheer lace skirts over pants. Also, a lot of images of sequins for day, sequin skirts with otherwise casual outfits that looks as stunning as it ever did. Some beautiful like silk skirts with vintagey looking lace integrated into them, worn as a skirt with a casual daytime outfit. There are so many ways to play with this, especially now that it seems like the door has really been busted open to do it creatively. Sheer skirts like this, vintage slip skirts like this too, that's the kind of thing that is always filling the lingerie section of the thrift shop, maybe because people don't usually want to buy their lingerie at a thrift shop. So I often find things like this languishing there. And maybe they're a little bit beat up and quite old, and it doesn't immediately look like a garment you might want to wear or might want to buy. But if you think about wearing it as a layering piece like this, just almost like a hat or a scarf or something, then suddenly that becomes quite appealing. So I'm looking forward to keeping an eye out for something like this the next time I go thrift shopping. However, I did try this. I did try to build an outfit based on this principle, inspired by some of these images, using what I had in my closet. But before I show you my attempt at that, a word from today's sponsor, LILYSILK. a brand that I am so happy to be working with because their clothes have become for me tried and true. Like my favorite LILYSILK pieces over the years, I've really bonded with them and I've worn them over and over, and in some cases over and over and over again. LILYSILK makes upscale tailored clothes from natural fibers like silk and wool, and the quality is incredibly high. The silk that they use is dense and fluid, in many cases as wrinkle resistant as silk can ever be. These bias cut silk pants, for example, they're the best quality I've ever seen in a pant like this. I love their oversized silk shirts in double Georgette because they are silk, but they feel so sturdy. With my lifestyle, I tend to go for the more casual side of LILYSILK, the oversized pieces, the oversized suiting, etc. But I've often thought that if I had a professional job that required really crisp tailoring, and I wanted to invest in pieces that would essentially last forever through several cycles of wearing and cleaning, LILYSILK would be such a good resource because so many pieces fit that requirement, but they also have that artistic edge that would be important to me no matter what kind of work I was doing. Of their spring pieces, I'm maybe most excited about this jacquard blouse. It's tailored, but it's not fitted, and it has these dolman sleeves, which are so lovely when they're rendered in silk. It's not cropped, but the waistband is loose in a way that makes it possible to wear it with high-waisted things and with low-waisted things. And it's the very definition of a blouse that can be dressed up or down. I can see it in a formal workplace, I could see it in a bar or at like a music festival. And with the matching skirt, I could even see like getting married in it, literally, like at least rehearsal dinner vibes. I am also, I have to tell you, a massive fan of LILYSILK's new contour activewear fabric. I love these leggings because they stay clean. Lint doesn't stick to them, cat hair doesn't stick to them. The fabric is visibly luxurious and it stays that way. It stays fresh and impeccable throughout the day. I have found myself way more able to build outfits that straddle that line between activewear and polished daytime style since I got these leggings. They also have silk in them. The fabric is over 35% silk, so they are cool and breathable and moisture wicking. Classic LILYSILK, right? Sumptuous fabrics, thoughtful design, and always, always elegant. Even the leggings. Anyway, my gratitude to LILYSILK for the sponsorship. It is such a pleasure to work together with this brand and to watch them evolve. And you'll see some of the other clothes scattered throughout the video because I tried to put together outfits to fit the suggestions that I'm giving you. So here's the first one. For integrating formal wear, I decided to try wearing this Marni dress that I got at a thrift shop years and years ago, and that I like wearing it to holiday parties. Like I've worn it a lot around the holidays, but I was like, this looks like the perfect thing to layer over pants. So I put it on with these bias cut butter yellow silk pants from LILYSILK, and I actually kind of loved the way that those two pieces just looked. It was a little bit formal though. I mean, I think the thing that I like about these images of people wearing the lace skirts layered over pants is that they don't look formal. They look pretty casual and they're wearing the lace or wearing the sequins or whatever in this kind of saucy way. I felt like maybe if I lived in a city and I worked in fashion in a city, I could wear this Marni dress over these bias cut silk pants as a casual daytime outfit, and that would make sense. And I would feel really now and really fashion and really spring, you know, and I would have been utilizing this dress that I've owned for a really long time and that I consider to be formal wear, like part of my formal closet. But for my personal daytime, it was a bit too much. So I put really casual sandals on and like a very casual jacket on with it to try to dress it down. And it did work. Like it did come together, I feel, as an outfit. But once again, I feel like it was still a little bit too much finery for me for the everyday. But in theory, the style theory did work. I was actually kind of stunned by the way that the formal dress worked with the pants and how it kind of took it out of the realm of holiday party and into the realm of slightly grungy, wearable high fashion. It's kind of like how it felt. So I was pretty into it. But I wanted to try again. So the only thing that I have that is laced like this that I felt like it could work to imitate the thing that I was seeing the most in these images is this long sheer lace long sleeve tunic thing that I got for Tango. It was on sale at Dish. Now I see why. It's because this type of thing is trending. But I was like, oh, that would be good for Tango. I tried it over these LILYSILK trousers that I really like because they're very high-waisted and they have like a slit at the ankle. They're beautifully done. Quite formal though, actually, as well, those pants. And I put on an oversized silk shirt on top of it, again, to kind of add more layers to try to bring it into the realm of like the less formal or like the less put together. And I do like the outfit. Once again, I really like the outfit that I ended up with here. But once again, it felt like I hadn't successfully kept it effortless in that like daytime way that I covet. So the only combination that I came up with that I feel like did do that was when I put on the jacquard silk skirt, that white silk skirt that goes with the jacquard blouse, but I put it on with a t-shirt, just like a raw silk t-shirt. And then I was like, oh yeah, this is it. This is that look. This is that feeling of wearing a skirt that you could get married in, but wearing it for day. A t-shirt is a really good tool to strongly telegraph, like I am dressed casually, and then the fancy thing that I have on is part of my casual outfit. Whereas with the other two outfits, I kind of felt like I was telegraphing, I am dressed in finery, but I'm executing sort of like a casual, effortless, slouchy version of finery. That wasn't really what I was going for. But I feel like I really nailed it with the skirt and the t-shirt, and I like that look a lot. Okay, the second suggestion that I have, the second thing I want us to think about for spring dressing is something that I mentioned recently, actually, and I just can't let it go. Okay, this is it. It's when the weather is transitional and so it's still a little bit too cold to not take a jacket. You might even still wear long sleeves or a sweater on any given day, but it's starting to smell like spring and it's starting to feel like spring, and you want to be free in a springy way. An option is to wear the jacket or the long sleeves or the sweater that you need, but wear shorts or a skirt and then wear sandals. And specifically the look that I came across recently that I really like is barely there sandals. So there's this one influencer model who has a bunch of images of herself on Pinterest, and I saved a couple of them. It's like these few images specifically are what have inspired me, and it was kind of hard to source images widely of this because it's such a specific look, so it was a little bit harder for me to find the search terms that would turn up a bunch of images. But I'll show you the inspiration images. I also think that the look is like jacket and bulky clothes on top, or having your skin covered on top, but then from the knees down, like nothing. And you're wearing shoes that barely exist, such that you barely see them, and it kind of looks like you're barefoot, and it's a little bit shocking because you're so bundled up on top. That contrast, I'm just really interested in that. And it's like there's only a short window during the year when you can wear it, when it makes sense to wear it. And so I want to be trying it right now, okay? It occurred to me as I was searching for other images of this besides that one woman, it occurred to me that flip-flops often are the tool for executing this. Of course, if they're flip-flops that match the color of your feet and legs, then it's best. Or if they're close to the color of feet and legs, then it's best for that sort of nude illusion shoe. But the spareness of a flip-flop, even if it is a contrasting color or a strong color, it often gives that sense of like extreme imbalance in how clothed you are from the knees down versus the rest of your body. That is what I'm responding to. So flip-flop can work. Jelly shoe, I don't have jelly shoes. I don't have flip-flops. I don't have, as you'll see, really anything that works for this, but a jelly shoe could work. I know jelly shoes have been around lately. So if you happen to have hopped on the jelly shoe train, you kind of think about deploying them in that way. But you know, this is like, it's a specific garment, at least the accessory, the shoe is kind of specific. And if you don't have it, then in order to fully realize this, you'd have to buy something. So I'm a little bit more about just zooming way out and thinking about balance, maybe like bringing out the shorts and the sandals before you thought it was time and not being afraid to wear them with your winter coat still, or a coat, basically being willing to kind of mix seasons on your person, like mix the clothes that belong to different seasons on your person. So I did try to do this. The closest that I could come for my own feet from my own shoe wardrobe was to get my pair of Tango shoes that are essentially the same color as my skin. So I put those on with some shorts that come just past the knee, like they're the long shorts, just like in the inspo image, and an oversized shirt because I wanted to be like completely clothed up above, covered with cloth, clothed and covered with cloth. I kind of loved it. I think that I can't wear the Tango shoes out. I think I would have loved this with other sandals. I just didn't go and get them to try at the time, but I think I will wear this pretty soon. I actually think I will wear this pretty soon. These same shorts, same oversized brown shirt, and just some sandals. Some easy sandals. Oh, I have those Huaraches that do really blend in with my skin. I should have worn those. That would be the perfect thing to wear with this outfit. Yeah, I have a plan now. It didn't need to be the Tango shoes. What was I thinking? I really did the most. It looked fierce though. All right, and the last suggestion that I have for you is this. Hear me out. You may be a naysayer, but this is another one that I was just seeing everywhere and seeing done even more dramatically than ever before. It is like joyful to me and freeing in so many ways. So I've talked about a collared shirt before. I've talked about button-down shirt. I've talked about how easy that kind of thing is to find at a thrift shop. The thing that I've been seeing and thinking about a lot is one that's really long on you. Like not just oversized, but the length of a dress on you essentially, but wearing it over pants, not wearing it as a dress. I'm seeing it everywhere more than usual, more than before. I'm seeing it deployed in creative ways, and I really love that. And I wanted the chance to show you some of these images and to once again remind you that you can find an oversized shirt like this in the men's section of the thrift shop pretty reliably, pretty easily, and sometimes in amazing fabrics. In the past, I've been the most obsessed with an oversized white button-up shirt. Like I've talked about that ad infinitum, but I'm starting to feel like the possibilities are endless for print and color for this. I'm starting to sort of get a little more open of a mind about this. I also saw this combined with the first one in so many ways. An oversized shirt with like a long pleated maxi skirt that looks like it might be a kind of formal wear. An oversized shirt over a slip skirt with lace at the hem. An oversized shirt over a printed slip skirt with heels. And then of course with trousers, with jeans. It's absolutely effortless and perfect for transitional weather. So I already wear this all the time. I already do this all the time. It was really easy for me to try this for the video. An oversized shirt, a really long oversized shirt in which you are essentially swimming, pairs really well with sort of drapey pants that, I don't know, sometimes with those bias cut silk pants, I worry that it's going to look like pajamas. And this is true of like printed, striped. I have some like beautiful striped cotton straight leg pants from last year that have a stretchy waistband with a tie. I always worry they're going to look like pajamas, but I find there's something about pairing them with an oversized shirt like this, especially if it doesn't match, like if the color doesn't match. And especially if there's some finery involved, like if the shirt is silk or if there's a lace skirt detail somewhere, you know, it really asserts the stylishness of the combination and makes it feel more intentional and makes it feel less like pajamas. The very oversized brown shirt with the bias cut silk, sort of caramel colored pants. I was actually shocked by how put together I felt when I put that on because it did feel like pajamas. It did feel like I could have just crawled into bed, but I looked like I could have gone and taken a meeting. Actually, I felt like I could have gone and shaken hands with some people in a professional setting. I also played around with pairing some of these oversized silk shirts with balloon pants, which that's a silhouette that I have loved and worn for a long time. If you've been following me, you'll know I was like 10 years ahead of the balloon pants trend. So it's really kind of exciting for me to see it everywhere. But you know, an oversized shirt, a really long oversized shirt that goes down kind of to the backs of your thighs looks amazing with balloon pants. It kind of just goes with anything. Like it kind of works with absolutely anything and can kind of be the answer to anything and is something that you can thrift. I'm just a real evangelist for the very, 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 very long collared shirt. It's like the intersection between log and look, which I will link the video in which I did a deep dive on log and look in case you don't know what I'm talking about, but it's a very specific style of dressing that I quite like, and that I feel like is liberating in some ways that are political. I got into it in that video, so click through and watch it if you haven't seen it. I feel like the oversized shirt, like this level, the dramatically oversized shirt, it's at the intersection between login look and the like soft suiting minimalism trend, right? So that's something that we've seen over several years now. It's really become part of the fashion bloodstream right now, the kind of soft suiting of minimalism. And I've talked a little bit recently about wanting to disrupt a little bit the uncomfortably slick, calm plane of minimalism. And I feel like this kind of does that. It takes something that I really appreciate from the minimalist soft suiting trend, and it deploys it in a way that's a little bit disruptive, but still retains what is good and kind of aesthetically calming and comfortable about that trend, right? I think that that's why I'm so obsessed with it and why I wanted to include it in this video. It's also just, it's a great style staple because it's so unspecific. You can do it in the way that works for you. If something long that goes down to the backs of your thighs doesn't work for you, go with something cropped. If a white button-up shirt doesn't work for you, go with a color, go with a print. It's like again, it's sort of a catalyst for thinking about being creative with your clothes. So that is it for today. I'm feeling more and more ready to dress for spring. We had like a 32-degree day yesterday. I was really this close to fully switching out my wardrobe and putting away all my sweaters. And then suddenly, not yet, but we're very, very close. And I'm really excited about this kind of layering, drippy, slouchy, cheeky finery that I've been feeling. Let me know if there is a spring trend that is a trend for you every spring that you just cannot wait to start wearing again, or something that feels new and fresh that you're excited to try. Thank you for being here with me. And don't forget, my friends, to sit with yourself, take time for yourself, take care of yourself.